Just moments ago, President Trump virtually delivered his first major speech to political leaders and business titans during the World Economic Forum in Switzerland. Let's play some of that speech for you now, calling for countries to do business here in the U.S. Take a listen.
My message to every business in the world is very simple. Come make your product in America, and we will give you among the lowest taxes of any nation on earth. We're bringing them down very substantially, even from the original Trump tax cuts. But if you don't make your product in America, which is your prerogative, then very simply you will have to pay a tariff, differing amounts, but a tariff which will direct hundreds of billions of dollars and even trillions of dollars into our treasury to strengthen our economy and pay down debt. Under the Trump administration, there will be no better place on earth to create jobs, build factories, or grow a company than right here in the good old USA.
CBS News Chief White House correspondent Nancy Cordes joins us now with more on all of this. Nancy, thank you for staying with us. Trump covered, as you know, a range of topics during that speech. What stood out to you?
I think his economic comments on a range of topics, Liz, are going to get the most attention, starting with his comments about tariffs, the fact that he is still planning to impose those tariffs on goods coming into the country. He said, and you played the clip, hey, come here to the United States to make your goods. Otherwise, we are going to impose tariffs on you. He has vowed to impose tariffs on one of our biggest trading partners, Canada, by February 1st. And in his speech, he made the claim that we don't really need any of Canada's goods. He said we don't need them to make our cars. We don't need their lumber because we have our own forests. He also said that he is going to be demanding that interest rates come down here in the U.S., which was a surprising comment because it is the Federal Reserve that decides whether interest rates go up or down. And the Federal Reserve operates independently from the president. He's not supposed to be able to demand anything. And then finally, it was notable that he called out OPEC and OPEC countries that produce oil. He said that the price of oil is too high and that if they would bring the price down, then the war in Ukraine would end. Ostensibly, this was unspoken, but ostensibly because Russia relies so heavily on income from its sale of oil to keep its economy afloat, Liz.
Yeah, he also talked about using the U.S.'s own natural resources as well. But we know that President Trump spoke with the Saudi Arabian Crown Prince on the phone yesterday, and he had this to say during the World Economic Forum just moments ago. Let's take a listen to that.
Saudi Arabia will be investing at least $600 billion in America, but I'll be asking the Crown Prince, who's a fantastic guy, to round it out to around $1 trillion. I think they'll do that because we've been very good to them. And I'm also going to ask Saudi Arabia and OPEC to bring down the cost of oil. You got to bring it down.
And Nancy, the president is scheduled to also hold a call with the president of El Salvador in just a few hours. Do we know yet what the president is discussing with these various international leaders?
Well, it was surprising in that speech, Liz, to hear him describe the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia as a fantastic guy. The U.S. has had a very fraught relationship with MBS in recent years because of the CIA's determination that he directed the murder of Washington Post journalist Jamal Khashoggi. You might remember that when President Biden went to Saudi Arabia, it caused massive controversy that he even gave a fist bump to MBS because there are so many in this country who are angry about what MBS has done. So to hear Donald Trump call him a fantastic guy, to hold his first phone call with a foreign leader with MBS, and then even to suggest that that might be his first foreign trip to go visit the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, that is a real sign of the changing of the guard here. The Trump family has a long relationship with Saudi Arabia, lots of investments, and Bob Woodward has even said in the past that Trump bragged to him that he rode to MBS's rescue when and there were those in Congress who were so angry about the Khashoggi murder. And so that was notable to hear. In these conversations, they're obviously talking a lot about investments. Also, with the leader of El Salvador, you can imagine that immigration will be a prime focus.
Yeah, the president also spent a lot of his speech talking about what he was doing here at home. He mentioned the major reform at the border. CBS News obtained a memo saying Trump has authorized drug agents with deportation power. What more can you tell us about that update and how it fits into sort of this flurry of orders that we've seen from the president over the past few days?
Right. So they are trying to throw resources at this problem. And one of the things they're doing, for example, is beefing up the military presence at the border. We know there's this executive order that calls for 1,500 troops to go to the border, but that there's a plan in the works potentially to send up to 10,000 troops to the border. And then this is another piece of that puzzle where they are looking to empower federal law enforcement officers from other agencies beyond Customs and Border Patrol. I'm talking about the Drug Enforcement Administration, the ATF, the U.S. Marshal Service. These are all law enforcement officers who might encounter migrants in the course of carrying out their duties. And what the Trump administration is saying is that it would like to empower them to be able to carry out immigration arrests as well.
All right, Nancy Cordes, live for us from the White House. Thank you so much for that, Nancy.